what I'd like to do is spend a few minutes talking about how to go through multi-views. So we really need to understand multi-views and how to convert those over. Here's the isometric, right? We're looking at that. That's actually what we're going to be designing. Over here in the bottom left, this is always known as the front view. Then we move to the top view. And then over here we have the right side view. So basically we took this and we turned it so that we're looking at it this way. We took this and we flipped it up, so now we're looking down like we're a bird flying over the object. Now, a few important things. I'll zoom in on this view right here. So the center marks, those are used, so the little plus signs here, those are used to help us determine how far away it is from something. So like right here you can see from this edge to over here, that is 2 inches. We can also see from this edge to the center is 3.25. And then we also have it from maybe this line down to here, right? And it tells us it's 2. We also see these little dashed lines. These are hidden lines. Okay? If we look at this, if we were flying over the top of this, we wouldn't be able to see that hole that's in here. We wouldn't be able to see that. We know it's there because we can see it from other views, right? But from this top, we wouldn't be able to see it. So let's go ahead and kind of get started and figure out a way to make this part. So I'm going to start and make a new design. Very first thing I'm going to do is save this thing. So I'll just call it the arc block. And then I want to make sure to save it in the correct folder, okay? For you, that's going to be different. But this is our 3rd video in the series now, so we should know how to save a file into a folder. Then I can go ahead and close the data panel. I don't really need it anymore. That'll maximize my screen space. And I'll go up here to Assemble and say New Component. And for component 1, I'll actually just call it arc block. And I'll press OK. So the very first thing we'll do, we'll go ahead and start a new sketch, right? And I know that this sketch is some sort of square. So let's go back and take a look. This is where I'm using the front view. I want to know how long is this thing from here to here. It doesn't really say so much on this view, but if I go up here, it tells me 4. And it's got a height of 5. So let's get in that drawing and make that happen. So I'll go up here to Dimension. I think we said our length is 4 and our height was 5. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Finish Sketch. Now, I know that I have some thickness to this thing. So let's see. That's going to be, it looks like 4 inches here, right? So that's given to me, 4 inches. So when I go to extrude this, I'm going to make it, here's extrude. I'm going to make it 4 inches right here. Now I know that this is, I'm going to just take the rectangle, and I know it does something like this, right? Okay, so now let's look at some more dimensions here. How far is it from right here, this back edge, to here? If we look up here, it says 1 inch. So I'm going to go into my drawing, or excuse me, into my design. So I click, and I'll make that 1 inch. Now I need to kind of figure out this one here. So let's go back into our drawing. From here to here, looks like it's 1 inch as well. So I'll go back to Dimension. So from here to here is also 1 inch. Now I can go ahead and hit the E key to get to Extrude, and I'm going to just click here and just drag it in reverse. So something like that, right? I'm going to choose to go ahead and put, there's 2 holes in here, so I'm going to hit Create Sketch, and I'll click on the face I'm going to draw on. I know that I think they're centered up, so I'll go ahead and kind of mark that. I'll just come out here and put 1, and on the same line I'll put another one. Let's go into our drawing and look. So it says we're from this edge over, that's 2 inches, right? From this edge over to here, that is 3.25. And these are 1 inch diameter holes. So 2, 3.25, and 1 inch. So let's go do that. So I'll click Dimension, and I'll say from here to the center point, we said is 2. Now we said from this edge also to the center point of this circle is 3.25. And now we can click on the outside of that circle, and we said this is a 1 inch circle. So is this one. Alright, And now I'll hit the E key and I'll click both of the circles, and then I'll just drag the arrow down until I'm through the object. So now I know there's a hole up here. Yep, there's that hole. So it's a 2-inch through hole. So what that means is it's got a 2-inch diameter, goes all the way through. We just need to locate it. So it looks like it's on the same center line. So it's 2 inches down. How far down from the top is it though? It doesn't say that, but it tells us how far up from the bottom it is, right? So 3, and then it looks like we're 2. So let's take a look. I'll go back into sketch mode here. I know that it's centered, so I'm just going to go over there, kind of center that. This, I think, was a 2-inch diameter. So we can go ahead. We don't really need to do this step. I'll say from left to center. That should be 2, and it is, because remember we used the point. So I'm good there already. So now I say dimensions still, and I'll click here in the center point. And then that looks like from here to here is 3. So I can either do the math, or to keep things simple, I'll just click on that one and delete it. And I'll say from this bottom line to the center line here was supposed to be 3. So then I hit E for extrude, and I'll just kind of drag this out. And the last thing is, this is not exactly how it looks, right? In our isometric here, that whole top is curved. Well, if we look down here, it says radius is 2.0. I'll bet you, go ahead and look at that, the width is 4. So radius is half, well, right? So I bet we could just do a fillet there on these 2 corners, and we can make it 2 inches. Let's check it out. So here's fillet right here. I'll click both of the corners, and I'm going to change the number here. Instead of 0, I'm going to put a 2 in there. And then I will press OK. Now it looks good. Before I finish, though, I want to right-click on it and go to Physical Material. We'll go ahead and continue to have it, right? We want to assign plastic, and we want to assign ABS. So I click on it and drag it over and hit close. Then I'll go right-click on it, and I'll go to Properties. There's my General and my Manage tab, but I want that Physical. So here are the properties I should be getting.